What's good, everybody? My name is Kalen, joined by my co-host and a special guest today, and this is the Huddle Break podcast. How are we doing today, Ray?
Hey, we're vibing. I'm feeling good. Right back into the swing of things with the NFL season. The vibes are up right now.
Yeah, week one's over, and we got a lot to talk about. We're joined by a special guest today. He's a Saints fan, mostly known for screaming at children on Fortnite, and teaching other people how to respect women on Fortnite. We're joined by THump. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing wonderful. Saints first week just come out. Jameis MVP of the league right now. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I think Super Bowl contenders. It's coming. I'm feeling it this year, man.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, it was a weird week one. It was the first time in the Super Bowl era that 9 underdogs won and 12 underdogs covered the spread. So it was kind of an
Oh
unpredictable
yeah.
week.
Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure that Sean Payton specifically chose Jacksonville to host their home game because I'm pretty sure in like Aaron Rodgers' career he's like 0-4, or
In
I can't
Florida?
remember where I read. Yeah, no, in Jacksonville specifically, he just doesn't play good there. I'm pretty sure he never has, and that's the reason that Sean Payton specifically chose that place for them to play. So I mean, it worked out too. I mean, Aaron Rodgers looked lost, so
Yeah, that
we'll get to
was
that later. I don't want to.
yeah. But last week, Ray, we did our predictions for week one. You went 7-9 with your week one predictions. You surprised by that?
A little bit. I mean, looking back at my predictions, I probably should have switched a few, especially because I ended up betting the opposite of what I predicted on the podcast. So,
Jesus.
hey, it worked out though
This
because I
guy's
won my
everywhere.
parlay. I won my parlay. So, but I'll be more accurate this week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I went 8-8. I picked the Seahawks over Colts and Raiders over Ravens. Those are the only differences in our picks, I think. Besides the Bucks game, of course. But
Yeah, you had Raiders winning. I thought, right?
yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
So let's get right to game one from last week. We got Cowboys versus Bucks. It was a fun game. Bucks won 31-29. It was painful at the end there for me. What'd y'all think of the game? I'll start with you, Ray.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cowboys have to be happy with that loss. As tough as it was to lose such a hard-fought game, Dak looked really, really good. I mean, really good. He's been off all these injuries, surgeries, and I think the Cowboys are gonna definitely do well this season. And I was surprised, and I think it's important to note too that their defense actually played really well against the Bucks. The Bucks didn't really have much of a running game. You had like Demarcus Lawrence playing out of his mind. So I'm really excited to see what the Cowboys have in store.
Yeah. What'd you think, Tia?
I think this is actually a bad game for the Cowboys. If you want me to be completely
Mm.
honest, I'm looking at the stats right now. You have 2 fumbles lost, 2 interceptions thrown. You have 4 turnovers. You only give up one yourself, so that's a +3 turnover differential, and you still can't win the game. And I just don't think that's good for the Cowboys. I mean, think about how many extra possessions you're gifted by a Buccaneers team who won the Super Bowl last year, and you still can't put them away. Um, I don't think their defense is going to be up to snuff. And I honestly don't think the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs this season. I know I'm biased against the Cowboys because 3 years ago, when the Cowboys and Saints played in the regular season, we had just like beat a big team, and then we came in and played you guys in your place, and I think you beat us. And I just hated like all Cowboys fans because everybody on Twitter is just attacking me, right? But I really don't think this game is good for the Cowboys just based off of how many turnovers they had. And I didn't watch the full game, but I don't know how many times they got turnovers and didn't convert those into touchdowns and stuff like that. So I feel like against the Bucks and the Chiefs specifically, if you're getting turnovers and you're kicking field goals, I mean, you might as well just like forfeit the game. There's no point. I don't know what it looks like the Cowboys didn't go for fourth down one time the entire game. And I just don't think Mike McCarthy is the coach that's going to get them into the Super Bowl. I just don't think he's that great of a coach. I don't think he's aggressive enough. Um,
Yeah.
and just everything I've heard from his past about his play calling and everything else, um, I just don't think that they have enough. I don't, but their division is so weak. That's the problem. I still think I take the Redskins out of that division, though. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I'm someone who doesn't like moral victories, so even though it was a close game and
Yeah.
like I don't care. I was very annoyed at the end of the game. I mean, realistically, the Bucks should have lost that game. I mean, we're talking to a Saints
Oh
fan
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm talking to a Saints fan, so you know all about losing a game off a blown call. And
Nice, good one. That was a good joke, man. Everybody's laughing right now on the podcast.
but yeah, it's just that was annoying to me. It was a very entertaining season opener. It was extremely entertaining regardless of the outcome. The only one I can think of that's probably better is that Packers Saints season opener from 2011, where like Drew Brees and Rodgers had like 800 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
But
No
Dak,
defense being played at all.
yeah, exactly. Dak looked amazing, dude, and Zeke looked awful per usual. Hopefully we can get him out. The offensive
Yeah,
scheme was what I like to see.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Dak, I'm actually shocked that Dak looked as good as he did. Like,
Hmm.
imagine if you were that guy and you're out on a football field and you just break your leg in half. How do you come back mentally and play that well your first game back? Like, I would be afraid I take one wrong step, it's gonna just break in half.
Yeah,
I don't know how he did it, but I mean that he had an insane performance for his first game back. So props to him.
yeah, and his shoulder is still hurting. Like you could tell because his arm strength was not fully there. Like he hurt his shoulder is
Yeah, you
injured.
Yeah, for sure. You could definitely tell in a lot of his throws that he wasn't 100%, but in the NFL, I don't know if he's ever going to be 100% this year. You get sacked one game next week, you land wrong on
Yeah,
it and then you're back to step one.
yeah,
So yeah, I think he's going to have to deal with that the whole season as well. So you got to hope he doesn't get that shoulder re-injured just by getting sacked and landing on it. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff up in the air for the Cowboys. Their defense, maybe they improve. Maybe they keep getting turnovers. There's a chance for the Cowboys because their division is very weak. Um, but I don't think there's a chance they get past the. I don't see them making it past the first round because I think they're going to be a lower seed. You might be the
if they make
last seed
playoffs.
in. Nah, yeah. And then you're going to be facing Tampa Bay or the Rams in their place. Um, and yeah, I think that's where the Cowboys are going to exit this year. But we'll see how it goes down the regular season. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We're gonna go to the next game. It was the Seahawks versus the Colts. The Seahawks won that game 28-16. Russell Wilson played like Russell Wilson. He had, 5 incompletions and 4 passing touchdowns. It was a first half of the season Russell Wilson performance. There's not much you can say. I mean, Carson Wentz had a decent first half, and then he kind of fell off in the second half. His offensive line kind of let him down, weirdly enough. And I think it was exactly what I expected out of the Seahawks. What'd you think of this game, Ray?
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in my Colts. I really thought they were gonna do much better performance. That offensive line, which is highly touted, I mean, it's a good offensive line. Was not up to par for some reason, which is weird because the Seahawks defense is really not supposed to be that good on paper. And not only did the offensive line not protect Carson well, but they didn't really run the ball well with Jonathan Taylor either. It was kind of just a mess game for the Colts, and the Seahawks really just did everything you needed to do. Russ hit some big plays to Tyler Lockett, and that was really all about it. Just Colts kind of imploded themselves.
Yeah, yeah. What'd you think about that game,
I
Tiump?
I think Tyler Lockett is a top 12 receiver in the league, and
Mm.
I in my mind every time I watch him play, I'm like, wow, this guy's like really underrated, really underrated,
Mm.
and he never. I never hear anybody mention him as one of the top wide receivers in the league, but he always shows up and performs. And I feel like the Colts, you were talking about their offensive line. They lost your left tackle, Costanzo, right? Anthony Costanzo, last year to injury, I think. He's just done completely retired. So Eric Fisher is supposed to be coming in, but I'm not sure when he's going to be ready. I think he's coming off a ACL tear, right? Um, and then I feel like their offensive line is going to be a lot better once Eric Fisher gets in. Their right guard spot, though, in my opinion, is a very big problem. If you look at like the PFF grades for Mark Glowinski, it's not too pretty. I don't know what they do at that spot. He gives up a ton of pressures. And they just need to. They also, one of the biggest problems, everybody talks about how good their general manager is and everything, right? He has all this cap space every year. Everybody raves about how good he is. Where's your number one receiver? I mean,
Yeah,
you have T.Y. Hilton out
they
there,
have no
sure.
depth.
I mean, I remember what. Yeah, they have no depth. I remember watching. It was like inside the Colts like draft room or something. It was like last year, I think it was. Not this previous draft, but the one before that. and they didn't have a first round pick because they traded for the defensive lineman from San Francisco. His name is escaping me right now. But anyways, in the second round, they were talking about they drafted Michael Pittman Jr. And they were saying how Michael Pittman Jr. he was our first round grade. He was our number one receiver. Anyways, you got him in the second round. He had one catch for like, I don't know, less than 10 yards or something the other day.
Yeah.
I think they really need to help their wide receivers, their depth. They need a number one. They don't have one. The separation isn't there for Carson. And you combine that with your offensive line not being able to hold up. And yeah, I think that you're looking at a pretty mediocre season for the Colts. Unless they, maybe not though. They're so talented. I still think the Colts have a chance to right their ship, right? They're still a talented team, so we'll see what happens with them down the road.
Yeah, they definitely need to put some offensive talent on that team. They don't have much to help Carson Wentz, and he's not the QB that can excel without offensive talent surrounding him. So, we were talking about that earlier in earlier episodes about how Racewalk's pretty high on that team, but I am not. So, yeah, you're right. We'll just have to see how they do. They definitely have the potential. They have the talent on the offensive line and on the defense to be a good team, but they'll go as far as Carson Wentz can take them. But yeah, we'll move on to the next game.
Yeah, I just don't.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you're good. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, I just when you just look at the Indianapolis Colts, like you just close your eyes and look at their team, you don't think Super Bowl team, you don't think deep run in the playoffs team, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. But that you do think, oh, this is a team that can win the AFC South. That's about as far as they'll get though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we'll move into an AFC South matchup, the Jags Texans. Raceway, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this game surprised me too, man. I mean, I definitely thought Trevor Lawrence might struggle a little bit, but I really thought with some of the weapons he's got around him, I really thought they'd do a little better. They never really established the ground game with James Robinson very well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just kind of sloppy. And really, honestly, Trevor Lawrence didn't look too good until some garbage time touchdowns to Chark and Marvin Jones Jr. As far as the Texans, though, Tyrod Taylor, man. I mean, I don't remember if it was on the podcast or I mentioned it to somebody, but his career stats are almost identical to Cam Newton's. Like, he is not a bad quarterback.
Yeah, you said that last week on the pod.
I did. Okay. So Tyrod Taylor and Brandon Cooks, man, they've got it going. Mark Ingram looked good on the ground. They had, looks will be deceiving, right? I mean, it was against the Jaguars, so I still wouldn't expect much from the Texans. But I mean, people were literally predicting they were going 0-17 this year. So I'm happy for them. They've had a lot of offseason turmoil. So I'm really happy that they at least got a dub at home to look good.
Yeah. What do you think of this game, THump?
I think that if you're a Jaguars fan, you're very, very happy with this outcome. And I think if you're a Texans fan, you're very upset with this outcome. Yeah. Any win that the Jaguars or Texans have this year is actually a loss. So the Jaguars are 1-0, and the Texans are actually 0-1 right now because neither one of you are going to make the playoffs.
So, that's what you meant.
Sorry.
That's what you meant. No, I mean, you said that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, any win that they get is actually a loss because you're not making the playoffs. You're not going to do anything. So all we care about is, your draft position, stuff like that. I think the Jaguars, dude, they have a ways to go. I mean, I thought they were going to be talented on offense too, right? I still put them 2 years out of even making the playoffs. And I haven't even kept up with what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I know he didn't play, obviously. I'm guessing that's because of the legal trouble, but I haven't kept up with the legal front on that. But I think both these teams are very far out from making the playoffs and actually having a real chance of winning anything. And I think they should pretty much tank the rest of the season, if I'm being completely honest with you. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, they did that last year. The Jags did. And
that is true.
The thing about NFL players, they're never going to tank. Like, their coaches can do their best to do that, but they're never going to go out there and try to lose games. They're going to try their best most of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, because these guys want to get paid, right? They want to get re-signed. They want to, be as good as they possibly can be for film. And I understand that. I'm just talking about from like a fan perspective. If I'm a Texans fan, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Like, wow, we just kind of ruined our season. But
exactly.
There's not much to say about this game. You could, talk about Trevor Lawrence, be like, well, he threw 3 interceptions. Ugh.
Well, let me say one thing about that. I'm actually kind of down on Trevor Lawrence after this game, simply for the fact that the Texans defense isn't the most talented, and they lost the Saints traded for their number one cornerback as well. We
Yeah.
just picked up Bradley Roby from their team as well to give us depth. So they didn't even have their best cornerback either, and he still didn't do too well. How many interceptions did you say? These three
3.
interceptions? Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it's his first game, probably nerves playing away. So you give him a pass on that. Extremely talented player, though. He'll figure it out. Hopefully, Urban can help him along. Urban's a first year coach as well, coaching a brand new quarterback in the NFL. First time they both done it. So hopefully they can get it figured out together.
Yeah, on a Sunday, I texted Ray and I said, "Wow, Trevor Lawrence looks bad." And his response to me was, "Peyton Manning
Yeah.
broke the interception record his rookie year." So you never know.
Okay,
Maybe we got the
well,
next Peyton Manning.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. It was actually a worse game, believe it or not. Probably the least entertaining game. It was the Eagles Falcons. Eagles won 32-6. My takeaway from this game is that the Falcons are awful. They have horrible red zone offense. Their play calling was horrible. I mean the Eagles defense looked great. I guess we'll see how legit they are this next week against the Niners. But what do you think of this game, THump?
I think that the Atlanta Falcons had the worst offseason out of any team in the NFL. You have two
100%.
choices here. You have two choices here. You either keep Matt Ryan or you get rid of him, right? Matt Ryan, I don't know how old he is now, 35 plus or something like that. They should have rebuilt this thing they should have drafted a quarterback. They should have tore it down. They should not have drafted Kyle Pitts. Their offensive line is absolutely horrendous. They spent multiple first round picks, I think 2 or 3 years ago, to fix this offensive line. They've never been good. And I think they set themselves back, an extra year, not probably extra 2 or 3 years, just by not drafting a quarterback this year. Unless there was one, obviously you don't know what their front office is talking about. You don't know how they had the quarterbacks rated and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that they had the worst offseason just by not trading or getting rid of Matt Ryan and completely starting a fresh rebuild with a new head coach, new general manager. Their general manager, by the way, was with the Saints. That guy's a genius. So sadly, I will say that I think the Falcons down the road, as long as he is there, I think they will be contenders, and I think he'll be able to build a good team because he's really good at his job. I was really sad the Saints lost him. But yeah, Falcons fans, don't watch this season. Just give up, start watching Netflix or something, find a good show because it's not going to be pretty.
What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, this game was interesting to say the least. Yeah, I mean, I was sort of watching this game as like a snooze fest, but let me just say one thing. I am very impressed with Jalen Hurts. He looked unbelievable in that game. I mean, granted, it was against the Falcons defense, but like, wow. In Atlanta isn't always the easiest place to play, and he showed up. He really did.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. Devontae Smith looked good as well. On the Falcons side, I don't know even what to say about them. I mean, I saw people trying to hype them up. I'm like, dude, you're going to tell me the Falcons are going to be better than the Saints and Panthers this year? Like, give me a break. But anyway, so yeah, maybe the Eagles will show us something this year. A lot of people had them as one of the worst teams in the league, so we'll see.
Yeah, I was surprised with Jalen Hurts
I
as
don't
well.
think the Falcons get more than 5 wins.
Oh, definitely not. After this performance, man, the Eagles were a team that people were saying was going to get 5 wins, and they just beat them down. And something funny about Jalen Hurts is in his first 5 starts, he has more 300-yard passing games than Lamar Jackson already, which is 2. So he has double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I deal with a lot of Lamar Jackson stands on Twitter. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, they're all over.
They're out now. They're out. There's a ton of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that game later. That was the game of the year probably. Honestly, regular season game
Yeah,
of
that
the
was
year.
an exciting game.
Yeah, we're moving on though to the NFC East versus the AFC West. Chargers versus the Washington Football Team. Chargers won 20-16. Justin Herbert had some decent stats. What do you guys think of this game? I'll start with you, Ray.
Yeah, this game was cool. Sort of the game I thought it might be. It was kind of a slow, grinded out. It was in Washington. Anytime you have a game like that, beginning of the season, teams don't have too much film on what people are doing this year. It might be like when you have a good defense. I feel bad for Ryan Fitzpatrick going on IR, although I do think Taylor Heineke is not that bad of a quarterback. I think he can be like a decent game manager type quarterback. But yeah, in the end, I mean, Justin Herbert got it done, dude. I still love the Chargers this season, and I'm pleased that they won the game. I think I might have, I don't remember who I picked to win last week, but I bet on the Chargers, so
You
I
did
was
pick the
freaking happy.
Chargers. We
I
both picked
did.
the
Okay.
Chargers. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that Fitzmagic injury is kind of the dagger in this Washington football team's season. I don't think that they're going to be able to make the playoffs even in the NFC least with Tyler Heineke at quarterback. He is not the quarterback that's going to win them games. This defense will be the one that wins them games, and I think that their season might be done. What do you think, THump?
I think that see, you really have faith in Fitzpatrick, huh?
I just think I
think
think
that
he was a step
I
up
think
above.
Heineke is actually a better. I see. To me, I feel like you know what you have in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Are you actually going to make a run in the playoffs with him at quarterback? I
No.
don't really know much about Tyler Heineke besides the playoffs that I saw him last year, and he looked really good in that playoff game. So what if he can tap into 80% of that in a playoff game? Gives you a lot better chance to win than Ryan Fitzpatrick, in my opinion. Um, I think the Washington Redskins are still the team to beat in the NFC East to me, but it does look like the Eagles and Cowboys are going to have something to say about that. I just think their defense is really, really stout. But the Chargers, if you watch their first round pick, Rashaan Slater on
Oh, he
Chase
was
Young,
unstoppable.
dude, that guy, dude, Rashaan Slater is going to be a stud though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He held up really,
He
really
didn't
well
allow he didn't
against
allow one
them.
pressure. It was
Um,
incredible.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure Brian Balaga is injured again every year. I hear Brian Balaga injured. Apparently, he had a back injury, so you got to check up on the Chargers' offensive line depth and see what they're going to do there. Who knows if he even comes back from a back injury this year? I don't know how bad it is or anything like that. But before he got injured, I think the Chargers have a decent chance of getting to the playoffs. It's just the fact that their division is just absolutely brutal. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll see how they do. I think they both have chances to make the playoffs, but I would give the nod to the Redskins to make the playoffs just because their division is a lot weaker in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers winning this game. Justin Herbert had a really difficult task as week one. I think it really proved that
Oh yeah.
he is the elite quarterback that everyone thinks he's going to be this year. I think he's got a downhill battle from here in terms of defenses. I think this will probably be the best defense he plays all year, and
If there
he
was
tore them up. So
if there was one young quarterback you could have from any team in the league, you would take Justin Herbert over anybody, right? I'm
I
trying to
mean,
think.
if you're taking
Not
contract too, yeah, right now he's
Yeah,
on a
yeah.
rookie
I'm talking about
contract.
like people. Yeah, quarterbacks that are on a rookie contract. You're not taking. I mean, are you taking Baker over him? No,
No,
you're not
yeah, no.
taking Lamar Jackson over him because he's in the final year of his deal. There's no quarterback in the NFL on a rookie contract. You would rather. Ah, man, I wish I was a Chargers fan. Ah, yeah, they got it good right
Yeah, we're
now. I
really
think
high
he's
on
gonna
them,
be.
man. We're really high on them.
Oh yeah, I think he's gonna be a stud. He looks good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Steelers Bills game. Steelers won 23-16. This was a pretty unsatisfying game, but is Josh Allen back to reality? Is this what we're going to get this year? 2018, 2019 Josh Allen? What do you think, Ray?
So, yeah, this game's interesting, right? Because I don't think the Steelers are horrible, and I know the Bills aren't horrible. This was just one of those like wacky games, man. The Bills were up 10-0 at halftime, and the Steelers got a random like blocked punt for a touchdown. And then I don't know if either one of y'all saw that weird 4th-and-1 play where the Bills like lateraled it like 5 yards back. It was
Yeah,
like the dumbest play I've ever seen.
yeah,
So you cut out those two plays, and the Bills are winning that game. And not to take anything away from the Steelers defense because it is elite, and I still stand by TJ Watt is going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
yeah. It two
But
sacks.
yeah, he played incredible, man. And he's got to keep up with Chandler Jones now. But I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I'm excited because that was an interesting game. It really turned the whole AFC North is kind of turned upside down a little bit with the Bengals and Steelers both winning and the Ravens and Browns both losing. But I'm excited. This is going to be cool to see if the Bills can kind of bounce back after that kind of week one home adversity.
did you catch that game, T Hump? I feel like that's a
Yeah, I
game you
did.
wouldn't watch.
Yeah, I did. I watched it. I'm just down on both of these teams. I have zero faith in Ben Roethlisberger at all. I'd rather have Taysom Hill as my quarterback. than Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know. I just don't. It's just I don't think he has it anymore. I don't really enjoy watching him play. It's just it feels like he's really washed up. Um, and then the Bills, there's no balance. I mean, he's throwing the ball 51 times, and he has weapons everywhere. They picked up Emmanuel Sanders, but he just has no run game. I mean, you could just sit back there. If you're throwing the ball 51 times a game, I mean, you can sit in, whatever defense you want to sit in, just to cover the pass. You don't have to worry about the run. You don't even have to, there's no presence from them at all.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen has to carry them. You put a lot of pressure on him. I'm kind of low on the Bills. I don't think they have a legitimate shot. I think it's between the Browns and the Chiefs coming out of the AFC. I think the Browns are just overloaded with talent, as well with Kansas City. I think the Bills are going to be your third or fourth team there. I do think the Steelers are going to make the playoffs this year as well because I think their defense is that good. But I don't think either one of them have a legitimate shot at winning a Super Bowl this year. I think it's a year too late for the Bills. Even though last year, I don't really think they had a shot either. Kansas City's just too talented and just ran through them. But yeah, I don't think they have a shot this year of winning it.
That's interesting because I think they're a few plays away from a Super Bowl caliber team. A few players away. I don't know.
Yeah, but who are those players that you're going to get?
I mean, a running
Who it
back,
seems to
maybe.
be.
I don't even know,
You think
dude.
they need a running back right now? I just don't know what's up with their running game at all. There's just nothing there.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. It's pretty weak back there. But running backs don't even matter, so I really don't know what they need. But they
Yeah,
definitely
that's what.
have a lot of the key
Yeah,
parts.
I don't know if it's just I didn't watch too much of the game, so I didn't actually watch their offensive line, run blocking, and stuff like that. I don't know the rushing yards or anything, so maybe I'm just speaking out of my ass here. Um, but if Josh Allen's throwing the ball 51 times, and I'm pretty sure they were up at one point 10 to nothing in that game as well before halftime,
Yeah.
and he ends up throwing the ball 51 times, I just can't imagine a world where, say, a coach like Sean Payton would ever have Jameis throwing the ball 51 times in a game. That just seems astronomically bad to me.
Yeah, I mean that team is the thing is they're one-dimensional. They don't have a run game, and they really only have one wide receiver talent. Their wide receiver two is an old Emmanuel Sanders. So you lock Stephon Diggs up, that offense gets locked up pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like the only team that you throw 50 times on is the Buccaneers. Because you just can't run. Like you can't. Like Vita Vea just eats you in the middle. Like there's just no running against the Bucs. So if you throw the ball 60 times against the Buccaneers, sure. Because if you're running the ball, it's a waste of a play, anyways. I don't know how good the Pittsburgh run defense is.
They're
Maybe
really
that was the
good.
Bills' plan
They're
going
really
in.
good.
Okay, so maybe that was the Bills' plan going in. Like, hey, we can't run the ball against these guys. We're not even going to try. We're going to throw the ball 51 times and see what happens. And maybe that was their game plan. And maybe the Bills will come back and have a running game. And if they do develop some type of running game to keep people honest, then I think they have a much better shot of being able to be in the AFC Championship game again. It just depends on how they progress and how they get better in their run game.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely could see them in the AFC Championship this year. But yeah, let's go on to the another good defense, the 49ers. They beat the Lions 41-33, and what people thought was going to be the weirdest upset of all time. They were up 3 touchdowns with 10 minutes left in the fourth, and they ended up only winning by 8 points. What do you think of this game, Ray?
I mean, the whole game was going according to script for about the entire game up until like the last 3 minutes. And
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what happened. That was wacky. I didn't even watch it. I went back and watched the highlights. I was like, dude, what? They got like 2 onside kicks. They got 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions, and 2 onside kicks. And then Deebo Samuel fumbled, and they had the ball, the Lions, and they actually could have literally tied the game at 41. That would have been actually unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, what do you think of the game, TM?
I think the 49ers are one of the most talented teams in the NFL. I'm pretty sure Brandon Ayuk played on Sunday, right? Didn't have a single reception.
Yeah.
Because he has like a hamstring injury or something like that. So I don't even know why he had him out there. If he, I guess, just hey, cover this guy, he's dangerous. And I'm pretty sure that two of their starting cornerbacks are hurt, right? Jason Verrett is out for the year. I'm pretty sure
he
he
got
tore his
injured.
ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Mosley is questionable. I'm looking at it right now.
They lost
I just
Mostert.
worry about their second. Yeah, they lost Mostert too. I'm just worried about their secondary. I think is their biggest question mark. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked at their depth chart. I don't know how good their secondary is after losing Jason Verrett. Um, I know they lost what's his name? Played for the Seahawks.
Richard
Legion of
Sherman.
Boom. He didn't. Yeah,
Richard.
Richard. I don't know why I can't think his. Yeah, so they lost him last year. And I don't even know if Richard Sherman's coming back into the NFL. I haven't looked up on that. I know he got legal trouble, but yeah, just worried about the 49ers cornerback depth, but I think they have a lot of talent on defensive line, offense, wide receiver. I mean, they're really loaded. Their head coach, top 5 in the league, in my opinion. Very good head coach. I think they have a chance. It's just their division is absolutely brutal. So see what happens there.
Yeah, they're definitely in a tough division. And they did get Josh Norman in the offseason. I don't know if you guys knew that, but
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they? Josh Norman. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
yeah, but
Wait, who
he's
got Josh Norman?
the Niners.
Really?
Yeah,
I would, yeah, I didn't even know that. I would be very surprised if Josh Norman ends up being the solution to their problems at cornerback. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he's definitely out of his prime, but I mean, he's always 33, but he's about your age, T-Hump.
Yeah, close.
Anyways, yeah. So I mean, he could be that guy to fill that void that you're talking about. But yeah, it was an interesting game. I'm high on the 49ers this year. I think they're a very talented team. I think they're going to pick up right where they left off in 2019. I think I'm really excited for them to play the Eagles this week because I think that Eagles defense looks strong against the Falcons, and I'm interested to see how they play against the 49ers. You know, Kyle
Yeah,
Shanahan's run
and
scheme.
if you're a yeah, and if you're a Detroit Lions fan, I think you're just happy you lost, right? Like,
Yeah,
imagine you come back and win that game. It's kind of like the Jaguars or the Texans, right? You don't want them to win if you're a fan. Well, at least from my perspective. So you win that game if you would have came back. Sure, it'd have been an insane comeback. It'd have been historic, but you're going to mess up your draft spot as well.
yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. We've got the Vikings Bengals game, which was it was the only overtime game. Nope, the Raiders won. So it was the first overtime
Mm-hmm.
game. It went down to the wire. Bengals won by a field goal in overtime as the clock went out. If they had missed, it would have been a tie, 27-24. Did you expect this outcome, Ray?
Here's the thing. So I on the podcast I predicted the Vikings to win.
Yep.
However, when I was putting my parlays together, I put my parlay on Bengals money line. So I was
Unbelievable.
sweating that game. And when Dalvin Cook fumbled, which may or may not have actually been a fumble, I was ecstatic. And then the Bengals freaking won in overtime, and I was jumping for joy. That was great, man. I mean, Joe Burrow looked amazing. He looked like the floor general, the field general rather. And yeah, I'm
Well,
hyped to
Jamar
see
Chase.
this team. Jamar Chase looked good, bro. I was
He looked
saying,
great.
I was like, all right, preseason's one thing. Let's see how he does in the game. He looked good, man.
Yeah. What do you think of this game, Tion?
I still think they should have drafted Penei Sewell. How do you say his
Yes,
name?
Sewell.
Penei Sewell.
I don't know how to say it.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think they should have drafted. I still think they should have drafted him over Jamar Chase. Sure, Jamar Chase has a good game. It's one of these things where it's balanced, right? Like Jamar Chase has a good game, but the most important player in your franchise, basically your franchise's history, he gets sacked 5 times. I don't know how many times he got hit total, but he did get sacked 5 times, coming off a big injury. So it's one of those things where you balance, like, okay, if we draft Penei Sewell, he's going to have more time to throw the ball, right? But he might not have the receivers that are going to get the separation for him. So maybe Jamar Chase helps him, get the ball out faster because he's getting separation quicker, stuff like that. I still think they should have drafted Sewell. But I think the Bengals they look good. Still don't think they have a shot to win their division. And the Minnesota Vikings fold the franchise. Okay, I mean I hate this team from the Minnesota Miracle. I hear about it 24/7. Kirk Cousins doesn't
Oof.
have it just doesn't have what it takes. He's not going to be able to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion. Their defense, I know a couple last year when the Saints played them, it was horrific. I'm not sure how many upgrades they made. I know last year Daniil Hunter was not happy with his contract. I'm not sure where that is. I think the Vikings have no shot of winning or going to the playoffs. And I think if you're a Vikings fan, you want them to lose out. Because for me, I know I say this a lot, but if I don't have a chance of going like making a run into the playoffs, I want my team to lose every game so that next year I don't have to be as depressed and miserable as I am currently watching them play.
Yeah, and the thing is, most NFL fans do not share that perspective. So, um, like people just want to watch their team win, regardless of the next year's draft. But I do completely agree with you. I think that the wide receiver position is probably one of the most overrated positions in football. I think offensive line is the most underrated position. So I think it's always better to bolster up that offensive line rather than take a wide receiver, especially
Oh
in the
yeah,
first round.
yeah, yeah. Oh, 100%. If you think about the Saints like long-term success, like the past 6 years, right? I
Yeah,
mean, it's all offensive line. I mean, we have Eric McCoy, our starting center. We drafted him in the second round 2 years ago, and then last year we drafted Cesar Ruiz, who also is a center, right? Eric McCoy goes down, Ruiz moves over from right guard to center. It's plug and play, and I feel like a lot of these teams that are consistently good year in and year out have in really top tier offensive
yeah,
lines. So yeah, I would 100% agree with you. Offensive line is like it's so important, and I don't think a lot of fans understand it. It's not sexy. You don't know who a lot of these guys are, but 100% offensive line, I would say, is the most important position group. That and defensive line, obviously, are the two most important position groups in the NFL. And I think that they made a mistake not drafting Sewell with their first pick.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's move on to the next game. We got Racewag's team, Panthers versus the Jets. Panthers won that game 19-14. Racewag, how hyped were you?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see a win, man. I was really impressed with what I saw out of Sam Darnold. CMC looked great, thank goodness. Pretty much everyone on our team looked great. I love our defense, by the way. I mean, I know it was against the Jets, but man, our defense looks prime for this season. I will say the Panthers have this weird thing that we do where like we take our feet off the gas like in the second half. So like we were up 16-0 at halftime and we won 19-14. So we got outscored 14-3 in the second half. And I don't know why we do that, but for some reason we did it all last season. Hopefully Matt Rule can get these guys kind of like, I don't know, man,
Yeah.
halftime speech or something, bro, cuz that's the one thing we got to work on cuz we didn't almost choke it, but like it got a little dicey towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, and that's weird because that's not a Matt Rule thing. He came from Baylor in the Big 12, and that's not something that any team in the Big 12 does. Like, so his coaching style at Baylor was foot on the gas all the way through the game. They're dropping 70 on like Houston and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's weird that he would come to the NFL and convert to that style of play. But what do you think of the game, THump?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Didn't watch a single play. Okay.
Doesn't surprise me.
This game, this game. I avoided this game. It just wasn't too attractive to me. If I'm being honest, no offense, Racewag. Panthers, small market team. Jets. No, they're not going to be any good. But I will say, I think the Panthers have a sneaky good defensive line. I think Derek Brown is a stud inside. I always was impressed with him when he was at Auburn. I think Brian Burns really good on the outside, really good speed off the edge. I think their defense is good. The corner Joe Horn's son that they drafted in the first round, I think he can be a really good cornerback for them. I think they're building something special on defense. If I'm honest with you, Jeremy Chin back there, very good last year. I think he's going to be going to take a step forward this year as well. I think their defense is solid. Obviously, it just all comes back to Sam Darnold and how much Matt Rule can carry him in the offense and how well they do together. Christian McCaffrey's still not as good as Alvin Kamara, but we'll save that for another day. So I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for the game this week. Saints played the Panthers at Carolina,
Yeah,
so
we're
that
gonna get
should
into
be a
that in a
good
little
game.
bit. Yeah.
That's all I had to say. I mean, unless you want me to talk about the Jets, I mean, there's not much to say really with the Jets.
Yeah, there is not much to say. I mean, I will say that I was unimpressed with the
Yeah.
Panthers. I thought they would win by more. I thought it'd be a more convincing win. Their defense did look pretty good, but I expected them to score more than they did, especially CMC. I thought he would just
Yeah,
devour that team.
yeah, you're. I think you're pretty disappointed here if you're the Panthers. No, 19 points. I
No,
mean, I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
we definitely could have done better in the second half for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to see more offensive firepower. Like I said, keeping the metal to the pedal.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I didn't know that the Panthers drafted Chuba Hubbard.
We
Yeah, they
did. We
did.
did.
Yeah, I was looking at their depth chart right now, and they drafted Chuba. Yeah, I see it. Huh? Interesting.
Yeah. So let's go on to the
Christian
next
McCaffrey.
game. Sorry, say again.
Oh no, I was just saying Christian McCaffrey's done in Carolina after that draft.
Yeah, probably not. Let's go on to the next game I got down is Cardinals Titans. Now Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury showed up this Sunday and they really beat the Titans down. They won 38-13. Kyler Murray
Mm-hmm.
MVP tour. Derrick Henry got sunned. Is this Titans team lost without Arthur Smith? What do you think, THump?
I think that the Titans are Taylor Wan got exposed. I don't think I've ever seen somebody get exposed that bad by another grown man. I mean,
Yeah.
he got walked over. Like, it's bad when you take to social media after the game
Apologize to the
and you thank
fans.
the other team's player. Like, bro, how do you get destroyed that bad? Like, it's time to give up at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Titans defense still isn't there. I think their number one cornerback is Jenkins. Played for the Saints last year. Not too sure on their depth chart on that. I just don't think their defense has enough. I think the Titans, obviously, they're in a division where they can still win the division. I don't think the Colts are too impressive. You have the Texans. Don't think they're too impressive either. So the Titans will be in the running.
Yeah.
But again, I don't look at the Titans and think to myself, "Oh wow, this is 100%, going to be a playoff team, or they're going to go to the Super Bowl."
Yeah.
I think they had their opportunity 2 years ago, and I think that time has passed them. I think they need to retool. And who did they play again? I
They
can't
played
remember the
they
other
played the
team.
they played the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, the Cardinals. I think hot take, bold prediction. Cardinals are going 8-9 this year. I don't think they're that good. I
Really?
do not think they're that good of a team at all. Yes, I think they're
Interesting.
going to be 8-9. I think they're going to get destroyed in their division. I think it's going to be it's going to be so hard to
I
make it out
think
of the
that's where I
division.
had them when we did that episode. I had them at 8-9 as well.
Yeah, I still think even after the first game, they still go 8-9 this year.
What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had them 8-9 or 9-8 as well, if I remember correctly. I don't know though, man. Dude, they look so dominant, bro. If they got their defensive line plan like that, JJ
Yeah.
Watt, Kyler, I mean, dude, what can you say about the guy? He looked unbelievable. I mean, showing that the shorter the quarterback is, the better. I mean, oh my goodness. He really did look great, man. All seriousness, I mean, I think he's leading the MVP race in my opinion right now after just 1 week, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what this Cards team is gonna have in store for everybody else.
All right. Let's move
I
on.
think my biggest question mark about them is just Cliff Kingsbury. By the way,
Yeah, no,
that's my
absolutely.
biggest my
Texas
biggest
Tech
question mark is
legend.
just Cliff King. Yeah, Texas Tech legend. There you go.
But yeah, let's move on to the Browns Chiefs. This was a game of the week. It actually averaged 2 million more viewers than the Sunday night football game. I don't know why it was not the Sunday night football game. But yeah, Chiefs won 33-29. It was a spectacular game. Baker looked great until the fourth quarter. Mahomes didn't look great until the second half. And then he did Mahomes things. And another Texas Tech legend, by the way. What'd you think of this game, Ray?
Yeah, this game was interesting, man. The Browns definitely showed up. They showed they're going to be a powerhouse team this year. It's tough to beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead, man. The Browns had it in the bag, but the Patrick Mahomes said the screw it, Tyreek down there somewhere.
Yep.
He brought that
He
meme
really
to
did.
life,
He really did.
and that's all that needs to be said, man. In the end, Baker couldn't quite get it done. He may have another chance later in the season in the playoffs. We'll see.
Yeah, he threw a game losing interception. It was pretty bad. But it was a good game. There is not much to say, but what do you got to say, TM? What do you think?
I have to, I feel like everybody, they say, oh, it's a really bad pick. I feel like I gave him a little bit of a pass because he was kind of wasn't he getting sacked and like pulled down as he was throwing it. So like, couldn't put
Yeah,
much
yeah,
on
yeah.
him.
No, for
Trying to
sure.
make a play. But I will say these are 100%, in my opinion, these are two of the top three most talented rosters in the NFL. The Browns are absolutely loaded. They did
I
not
agree.
have Odell Beckham for this game. So obviously he comes back. Hopefully Baker doesn't regress like he was last year when he had him out there. I think Baker actually got better once Odell got hurt. I think this is the AFC matchup, AFC Championship matchup, 100% in my opinion. They're too talented not to make it there. I like their head coach. I just don't like Baker Mayfield at all. I don't think you can re-sign him to a long-term extension. Maybe he gets franchise tagged. The Chiefs, obviously, they're going to be there. As long as their offensive line doesn't get hurt, they look pretty good. They're going to continue to get better throughout the season as well. But yeah, I think you're going to see an AFC Championship rematch of this game a couple months from now for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, you can see it. I think Raceway and I are both pretty high on the Browns and the Chiefs, obviously. So definitely could see it. Let's move on to the Dolphins-Pats game. It was a defensive battle. I predicted to be the lowest scoring game of the slate, and it was. It was 17 Dolphins to Pats 16. The game ended with a fumble in the Dolphins territory by Damian Harris on the game-winning drive, which is a heartbreak loss for the Patriots there. It was a matchup of the Alabama QBs. Did you watch this game, THump?
Yes, I did. I watched a pretty good bit of it. I was flipping between this and the Saints game. Even though the Saints game was a blowout, I still had to watch every second of it. I think Mac Jones he's going to be good, man. I feel
Yeah.
like I've heard this report a lot, but I heard that Kyle Shanahan really he was dead set on drafting Mac Jones. And the front office apparently wanted Jesus, why am I drawing a blank? Trey Lance. And I've heard that it took months for them to convince him to actually draft Trey Lance. And then I go and I see how Mac Jones plays. He's getting the ball out quick. He's making smart decisions really fast. He looks like he fits the bill. He looks like he's going to be a really good starting NFL quarterback, right? I am still so down on Tua, bro. Oh man, when I watch him play, it just looks so forced. I don't think he has good arm strength. It didn't look like he progressed much from last year. Obviously, he's against the Patriots. You're against Bill Belichick. It's going to be a tough task playing against that defense. Um, I still think that I think the Patriots. Who's going to win that division? I guess you got to say the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Patriots are number 2. It just depends on how Mac Jones progresses this year, though. If he progresses at a pretty consistent rate, I could see the Patriots actually having something to say in that division. I'm just down on the Dolphins, man. I just don't think they have the quarterback to get it done. I just don't think Tua. I just don't think he's the answer in my opinion.
What do you think, Ray?
Well, this was the final game I needed for my parlay, and I had Dolphins money line, so I was absolutely sweating with this game being a 1-point game. And then I'm a big fan of Damian Harris, but thank goodness he fumbled for me. But yeah, it's just kind of the game I expected to. I mean, I'm a big fan of Dolphins defense. I love Brian Flores as the coach. I think they have some really nice receiving pieces. I think you can win with Tua. I don't think he's going to go out and win you games by himself, but I think he can be develop into a Baker type of a player. And I definitely think Dolphins and Patriots both have what it takes to make the wild card, and behind the Bills. But we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I definitely like the Dolphins defense. But it was a tight game.
Yeah, the Dolphins have a really
Yeah.
well-rounded team. So I think that it's all on Tua, and this is going to be his year to prove it because they've got a great defense, they've got great offensive weapons, they've got good coaching. Let's see what they can do.
I think one thing I think Tua reminds me. This team kind of reminds me of Alex Smith. He reminds me of Alex Smith, game manager type. And what does that equal? First round playoff exit. Not making the playoffs. I think that's who I envision him as right now. Is Alex Smith.
Interesting. That's
A more mobile Alex Smith, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys sound pretty low on the Dolphins there. They definitely, I think they're the second best team in that division. I think Mac Jones is going to be a great QB, but I think he needs some time to develop. I don't think this is the year he's going to develop. But yeah, we'll have to see. Let's move on to the next game, which is the Broncos versus Giants. Broncos won that game 27-13, and the Giants looked awful. They looked pathetic. Teddy Two Gloves had a career game, and that's just a guy that you would never expect to say that sentence about. What'd you think of this game, Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with Teddy Two Gloves, man. He's always gonna be a Panther, to me after he led our team last year, and I'm happy for him, dude. I'm happy that he's doing well. But man, that Broncos defense, they battened down the hatches right there. Or maybe it was more of the Giants' offense just not being up to par. Because
Yeah.
yikes, that was rough for New York, man. I really expected the Giants to. I think I expected them to win the game. I'm pretty sure I had them winning, but
Yeah, we
even
both
not,
did.
yeah, I thought they were at least gonna like play better. I don't know what happened with Saquon. Honestly, didn't watch much of that game. I watched a few series, um, but yeah, I'm excited to see maybe the Broncos will be a surprise dark horse team. You never know.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, their division's pretty hard. The QB play is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot would have to go right for them, and a lot would have to go wrong for the Chiefs and the Chargers for them to, see even a wild card seed. But what do you think about that game, Tiump?
I think that Dave Gettleman needs to be gone.
Yep.
100%. Dude, I swear, Dave Gettleman is the worst general manager in the NFL.
Probably.
I just don't like what he does. I don't think Daniel Jones is the solution at all. I mean, he goes 59% completions, 59% completion in the game. I think it's a top down thing for the Giants. Joe Judge might actually be the answer. I've heard some of his players in interviews talk about him, and they love him. Like they rave about this guy. This was last year. I know they had a lot of people like retire this year in training camp or something, I believe. But I know they really respected him and stuff that I've heard last year from what they were saying. Um, dude, the Giants, they get rid of your GM. Um, yeah, fold the franchise. Get rid of your starting quarterback. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and redraft that. That was a mistake. And who did they play again? They played the Broncos. Oh yeah, I'm high on the Broncos. The Broncos. If you look at their wide receiver weapons, I mean they are loaded.
Jerry Judy got injured.
I'm just Yeah, I know. And look, man, that's a high ankle injury. I saw Michael Thomas try to come back from that last year. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say you might as well, if you get a high ankle sprain, just sit the rest of the season, man. Because that stuff, I didn't know this, but it is really hard getting a high ankle sprain and coming back from it. I mean, even in 6 weeks, like it's really difficult. I think the Broncos have a good team. Again, their division is just going to pummel them, though. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate timing.
Yeah, and I think what the thing is with Jerry Judy making an exit to IR, I think he'll be out at probably a majority of the season, if not all of it. They only have really Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, and Noah Fant to throw to now, and I just think that's not going to get it done. You look at the offensive weapons on the other teams in their division, like every single one, even the Raiders have better talent. They have Brian Edwards and Darren Waller and Henry Ruggs, and they just lost their second year, star on the offense. I just this team, I think they're just done for, man. Melvin Gordon's older. I mean, he had a great week against the Giants, but it was the Giants. So I think we move on
Yeah,
past this game. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I got one quick question for you. Would you say that Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, and Jerry Judy are better or worse as receivers than the people in their division? I'm trying to think because I feel like that's a really good receiving core. I think Fant is really talented. I think Jerry Judy is extremely talented. His route running is insane, and I think Cortland Sutton was on the upswing before he got hurt.
Yeah.
You say they don't have enough weapons. I mean, I still think
Well, I mean, you got
I
to
think they
think
have
about
enough.
it with so like compared to people in their division, you got the Chargers. They got Austin Eckler,
Yeah,
who's a receiving back and running back. You got Keenan Allen, who is a probably a top 10 wide receiver. Mike Williams, who is a deep threat, that one of
yeah.
the
I
best
think
deep threats in the league.
Mike Williams is nuts.
And
By the
Jared
way,
Cook
going
now.
deep.
You're
Yeah.
Jared Cook who kind of died off at the
No,
Saints.
that is a detriment. That is a detriment. I'm going to make a prediction right now, and I want you guys to remember this. The Chargers make the playoffs. Jared Cook will catch the ball wide open, running into the end zone, and a ghost will knock it out of his hand. This man fumbles more than any. He drops balls. No offense, Jared Cook, if you listen to this podcast, but I am so glad that we no longer have him on our team.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
God,
kind of weird with Jared Cook. He was really good on the Raiders, and then he went to the Saints
yes.
and just fell off a cliff. Like I don't even know what happened to him. But
I have no clue. And he was going to be a really important part of our offense too. And he just I don't know, man. He just never lived up to what I thought he was going to be. And I was so excited to get him when we got him 2 years ago.
but to answer your question, I think that without Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos have the weakest receiving core in the division. But maybe with him it could
Yeah,
be on
probably.
par
Yeah,
with
that's true.
maybe with him it could be on par with the Chargers. But other than that, it's not better than Darren Waller's a top 3 tight end. Uh, Henry Ruggs is a good wide receiver. I think he's better than Tim Patrick. I think he's better than Cortland Sutton, as is Brian Edwards. So that team is kind of dead to me, especially offensively. But let's move on to your team's game, TM. The Saints versus the Packers. I will just
Oh.
let you take the lead. Go ahead.
All right, I think this game just comes down to straight up hurricane. I know
Hurricane
that's
Diff.
bad to say, but yeah, I feel like this is a hurricane diff here. The Saints just come out. You have so much emotion, like the whole city, like it's not going to have power. Like the whole grid just fell into the water or something down here. They're without power forever. You come in, your coach is drilling it into you. The city has nothing. Nobody has power. Everybody's miserable. Blah blah blah. Let's go out, win it for the city. And they just come out and they just smoke the Packers, right? I think. Oh, you guys tell me if I'm off base here, okay? And I'm
Go ahead.
smiling while I
Keep
say
going.
this.
Keep going, man.
I think the Saints were held back for the past 2 to 3 years by Drew Brees' bum ass arm because he couldn't throw the ball over 15 yards, and all defenses had to do was come up, run press man, and you don't have to worry about him throwing the ball over the top of you. So I feel like the Saints were so limited, and Sean Payton was so limited in what he could do because he's so loyal. Like you're not going to get rid of Drew Brees. He won your first, Super Bowl of all time. He's one of the top quarterbacks of all time as well. And him and Sean Payton, they love each other. So there's no way you're going to get rid of him. But I think he held us back a lot. I think Jameis Winston being in the offense, man, listen, he ran for a 10-yard first down. I almost had a heart attack, bro. I couldn't believe I was watching a quarterback run past the line of scrimmage to get a first down. And it just opens up so much of Sean Payton's offense, man. We can do so much more down the field. We have a deep threat that nobody knows about. Do you guys know? God, now I can't think of his name now that I'm talking about it.
Juwan
Um,
Johnson, Traquan Smith,
no, Deontay Harris. Do you know
Deontay
who Deontay
Harris.
Harris
Yes,
is?
yeah.
5'6"
Okay, little.
beast.
Okay, yeah. So he's our special teams return guy, right? This man, I'm telling you, is going to turn into a receiver that is going to turn heads. The guy is unbelievably explosive. And I think that Michael Thomas isn't even the number one receiver on our team anymore. I think Marquise Callaway. If you guys have seen this guy play and watched him on tape, even last year during his rookie season, he's an undrafted free agent now. And this guy is insanely good. I mean, maybe I'm over exaggerating him being better than Michael Thomas. Kind
Yeah.
of down on Michael Thomas from last year. Obviously Michael Thomas is better than him. But I mean, you got Juwan Johnson coming out. This man played wide receiver last year. And one of the catches he had in the end zone, I'm like, what the hell did he just do?
Yeah.
And he had 2 touchdowns. I mean, you just throw it up. The guy's like 7'4". He just goes up and makes plays. I think the Saints, man, best offensive line in the league, in my opinion, and maybe not the best, but one of the top 3. Maybe the Browns probably maybe have a better offensive line. The Saints' offensive line is unreal. 2 best tackles in the league, best duo tandem in the league. You have Ruiz, you have McCoy. I mean, dude, they're just the defense guy. Quan Alexander coming back on defense after tearing, I think, towards ACL or his. Did you tell us? Might have tore his Achilles. I can't remember. It might have been his Achilles. He's already back on the field. He changes the Saints defense. When they got him last year, it completely flipped the script on the Saints' defense. I think the Saints are going to have another top 5 defense. I think they're going to be incredibly stout. They have depth. Our number 1 pick that we traded a first round pick for about 4 years ago. What's his name? I can't remember. 92 or 93 now. I'm forgetting. Marcus Davenport. He goes in, he plays really well. Oh, look, he's hurt again. I've never seen a player get more injured than this guy, bro. Every game, this guy has a new injury. It's like he's collecting them like they're Pokemon or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just we have depth everywhere, man. Like we got Roby from the Texans. We have depth at cornerback.
Yeah.
Our third round pick, Paulson Adebo, looked good. Had an interception. So yeah, I'm high on the Saints. Obviously, I'm biased. Man, I think the Saints are talented, dude. I think they have talent.
I can tell.
Yeah, I think they're young. I think they have a chance, man. I really, if the Saints get into the playoffs, oh, anything can happen, man. Anything. I'm telling you. I think
Dude,
they
I'm
have a
pretty sure your
really good
Saints are
shot.
cursed, so I don't think you guys are making it
Yeah,
through the
I,
NFC
I, I,
Championship.
I think that's the Drew Brees noodle arm curse, though. I think we've been lifted now, man. You know.
All right. Well, Ray, you got anything to add?
Hey man, that was a lot right there. I concur with what you said. I think Drew Brees has been holding them back a little bit. As great as he's been throughout his career. But I don't know what's going on with the Packers because can't really say much about them. They didn't play well at all, but we'll be
Yeah,
interested to see what they do Monday night.
Yeah,
the Packers.
pathetic.
I feel like yeah, that was a pathetic. I mean, you just looked at their team and they all just looked like none of them wanted to be there. Like nobody wanted
Yeah,
to be there, you
it was
know?
ridiculous. It was literally like I don't respect Aaron Rodgers. Like I mean I respect him as a quarterback, not as a person. I think that he genuinely just doesn't care. I think he gave up. I think he was only going for flashy plays. I think that he just doesn't care, and I think that's so disrespectful to all of his teammates because like when you see the quarterback is just clearly doesn't like he was laughing after plays. Like they zoomed on his face one time when they like didn't get like a third down conversion. He was laughing, and I was so confused on how this guy has the respect of his teammates when he can act the way he does in the offseason, and then he's just playing this like without a care again in the season opener. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he made very like uncharacteristic mistakes. Like there was one play where he drops back in his own end zone and he throws the ball 15 yards over his receiver down the field, and Marcus Williams just gets the easiest interception that
Yeah,
I've ever seen him. And like this is stuff that like Aaron Rodgers never does. Like he can clearly see if you watch from Aaron Rodgers' point of view. I mean, I'm 50 years old, man. I can't even see like past 5 feet, and I can see Marcus Williams over the top of I think I can't remember who was running down the field, but yeah, he just had really uncharacteristic interceptions. They didn't play good. They looked like they had no chemistry, very disjointed. I
yeah,
was watching a lot of their tape, and he looked his timing was off on a ton of different plays. He wasn't getting the ball out on time. So maybe it's just he didn't play in the preseason. There's something going on there, or maybe it's something larger. And we'll see that play out. But the Saints ran one defense the entire game, by the way, pretty much. They ran two deep shell the entire game. And
yeah,
the Packers couldn't get them out of it. They couldn't run the ball to get them out of two deep shell. They couldn't throw the ball underneath. Like Devontae Adams, I mean, he's getting bracketed the whole game. But, Marshawn Lattimore, all he has to do is just run trail technique on him the whole game. And he has a safety over the top. So Marshawn has no worry about getting beat deep. So I don't know how the Packers um, fix that problem of getting teams out of two deep shell, because now everybody's going to be running that. Every single team is going to try that. I guarantee you next week, I don't know who they play, but that defense is going to be running the exact same thing the Saints did to try to slow them down.
yeah. I mean, there's not much to say. I'm expecting a complete turnaround from this Green Bay team. I think if they come out next week playing even close to the level of play they just put out on Sunday, I think that Packers fans should literally burn down the stadium. But let's move on. We got the Sunday night football game now. The Bears and the Los Angeles Rams played, and the Bears got destroyed. I think nobody expected anything different. 34-14. Matt Stafford put up the best statistical game of his career. He won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. The Rams looked great. Bears looked awful. Don't know why Justin Fields isn't in. What are your thoughts on the game, Ray?
Yeah. Um, Again, I don't know why. The Bears are going to be in for a rough next few weeks without Justin Fields. It wasn't really fun watching them. Unfortunately, Andy Dalton had his like mini prime with the Bengals, but it's pretty much over now. Um, hey man, the Rams were fun, bro. Matt Stafford looked unbelievable. I'm really excited for this Rams team, dude. They're a fun team to watch with Jalen Ramsey and everyone on that team and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch them play out. I think they're a top team in the NFC. Um, what are you expecting this season out of Justin Fields, THump?
I expect him. I think he's not going to play this week. I think the Bears are going to win this week. They play the Bengals, revenge game. Okay. Andy Dalton
Yep.
at home. They're going to be playing at Soldier Field against the Bengals. I think they take care of business. I think they beat the Bengals this week. I don't think Justin Fields he's not going to play against the line. I think the earliest he sees the field, oh man, I'm looking at their schedule. Oh, I mean, they play the Browns the week after this, and they play. I think that you could see him in the fourth game of the year. They play the
Yeah,
Lions
that's where I've
because
been
they're
coming
going to
out.
get. Yeah, the Browns are going to pound them
Little
because the
confidence
Bears.
booster.
Yeah, I think he comes. I think Justin Fields is going to start the fourth game against the Lions. I think he'll feast. Obviously, the Lions are going to be terrible. Um, and that's the first game I think you'll see him. I think he can be good. Matt Nagy does not inspire confidence, man. I
Yeah.
remember I went to the game like a year ago or 2 years ago where the Bears played the Saints and it was at Soldier Field, and I went to that game. Man, that offense, oh, it's just rough watching them
Led by Mitch
try to.
Trubisky.
Yeah, it was rough then with Mitch Trubisky. But Justin Fields is a lot more accurate than Mitch Trubisky is. Also, obviously, has speed. Not the quickest person, but once he gets going, he can move. I think Justin Fields. I mean, I'm kind of high on Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a good arm. Everything I've seen. See, this is weird. Like you're getting tidbits from like a Twitter clips of him like talking when he's on the practice field and like the things he's saying to his teammates. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, bro, I'm inspired. I want to go get it like a concussion or something on a football field. I think Justin Fields is definitely their future. But man, I don't know about their offensive line, but I know last year, God, they got to build an offensive line before he dies out there.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on past that game. There wasn't much to say, you know what I mean? I think everyone expected the Rams to handle the Bears pretty easily. Let's move on to the last game of the week. Ravens Raiders. It was the Monday Night Football game. It was pretty boring in the first half. Derek Carr came out. In my opinion, he didn't look that great. And then it turned into like the game of the year within the last quarter and into overtime. What do you think of this game, Ray?
Dude, this game was wacky, man. I almost turned it off. It was so boring in the first half, and a lot of the second as well. But man, really turned up. That last fourth quarter and overtime was some of the wackiest. With the if you didn't see the game with the like they had it at the 1 yard line. Well,
Yeah.
the entire everyone went on the field. People were like, "Yo, good game, good game." Everyone thought the game was over after the Brian Edwards TD, and then it was like, "No, it's not." And then it's like, "Oh, false start," and it's like, "Oh no, now." Interception off someone's helmet.
Yep.
And then the Raiders won after the freaking Lamar fumble. I don't know, man. That was an absolutely wacky game.
Yeah, it was definitely a back and forth game. I can imagine. I was talking to one of my good friends who's a Raiders fan throughout the course of the end of that game, and it was very funny. Texting him back and forth, his reactions to each and every play was pretty comical. Um, but yeah, it was an entertaining one. What'd you take from this game, TM?
A lot of things. I think Lamar Jackson is like a Sports Center top 10 player, right? He has these like plays where he's like a top 10, like, oh my God, like what is he doing? Like that's insane. Like he has those plays every game that you would put on Sports Center top 10, right? But he never finishes. Like I feel like he's not a finisher. He'll have insane plays, he'll have insane moments throughout a game. But when it comes down to it, I just don't think he can drive his team down the field. I just don't trust his arm. I, I I think he's limited throwing the ball outside of the hashes. Um, Obviously he fumbles the ball there.
Yeah.
Villanueva, their right tackle, that guy needs to be shipped. Like he needs to be gone. That what he Max Crosby did to him should be illegal. Villanueva's got to go. He is terrible. Um, Hmm, I feel like I'm just so down on the Ravens, man. I feel like I've been down on Lamar Jackson every year, even his MVP season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, I. They're gonna sign him to a long term contract because he's the franchise. He brings in tickets. Um, but man, he could win a Super Bowl down the road, but I just don't think that he is a good enough closer down the stretch to be able to lead his team deep into the playoffs. And I don't see any way they win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they're talented enough.
Yeah, I think the AFC is top heavy, and I don't see them being better than any of the top three teams. I don't, especially in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Lamar Jackson's not performed in the playoffs yet. Obviously, that could change, but I don't see them beating I don't see them beating the Chiefs. I don't see them beating the Bills. I do not see them beating the Browns. And they are unlucky enough to
Yeah,
one of those three teams being in their own division. So I agree with you
yeah,
there.
yeah. Let me say one more thing. By the way, did you guys watch Derek Carr's post game interview
No, I did
Oh, where
not.
he
about
praised
when
Zay
he was talking about
Jones.
dude, when Derek Carr, he did a post-game interview, and the entire time, all he talked about was how Zay Jones, the guy who caught the winning touchdown, he works like extra all the time. He's there throwing with him all the time, catching balls, blah, 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 works harder than anybody in the building. And like he made the whole interview about his teammate and not about him or anything like that. Bro, I love Derek Carr now.
Yeah, he's a
God,
beast
man,
for
I want
that,
to
dude.
play
I've
for
always
Derek
liked him. I
Carr.
always respect him as a person.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good leadership qualities for
like
sure.
he got me really hyped up. I'm not the highest on the Raiders. I think that a lot of that, how well their defense played, came from the Ravens' offensive line being absolutely terrible and Max Crosby just running through them. But the Raiders are talented on offense now. They are talented. They could do some damage. They could surprise some teams, pick up some wins. I still think it's 9-8, 8-9 type season for
Yeah,
them though.
yeah. All right, well, that is all the games from week 1. We're gonna move into our week 2 predictions. We're gonna try and bust through these pretty quick. We're just gonna really give we're gonna talk about the games a little bit and what we think the score is gonna be. I'm gonna post all the predictions in the Discord afterwards. So if you're interested and if you missed anything or want to look again, you can go back and look. But yeah, we're gonna start it off with the Thursday night football game, which is the Giants versus the Washington football team. What do you think the score of this game is gonna be? T-Hump, sorry.
Oh, Washington versus the Giants, huh? Oh, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me think. I think the Redskins are gonna win this game. I don't see Daniel Jones putting up more than 20 points, 17 points here. Um, I will go. Yeah, I'll go 24, 17. Redskins winning this game.
One touchdown game. Yeah, I'm with you there. I got down here as a 2013 Washington football team W. It's this game's gonna be a meat show. Daniel Jones versus Taylor
Oh,
Heineke. Not too excited for it.
My goodness.
Let's be real. I don't
yeah.
think I just hope I get to sit down and watch like Saquon Barkley bust out for 200 yards against the football team or
Yeah.
something. I mean, I doubt it. That football team defensive line is crazy. But I would. That's the only way to be entertaining is if Saquon goes for 200.
Yeah, you're addicted to something when you're gonna watch Daniel Jones versus Tyler Heineke, and I'll watch every single play and
Yep.
enjoy it.
Yeah. Where do you think this game's going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I love Taylor Heineke, man. Former Panther. I'm always rooting for him. Love Ron Rivera. The team is basically the Washington Panthers at this point. They got like Curtis Samuel. They got everybody over there. But I actually think this will be a close game. I think the Giants. A lot of times these Thursday night games are kind of like weird with the scores. Like it's not always the team you think is gonna like blow out or whatever. I got 24-21 Washington football team winning on a last second field goal.
All right, we're all seeing eye to eye
Hey,
there. We all go ahead.
let me say one thing. Where's the game at for that one?
It is
Do you guys know?
it's in Washington.
Oh yeah, Washington's 100% winning that game.
Yeah.
Because like it's so hard to go. I can't remember the stats, but traveling after a short week is just like impossible to win.
Yeah. And plus they dump sewage on their fans from the stadium, so you know. But
I forgot about that.
But yeah, let's jump to the next game, guys. Raiders Steelers. Where do you see this game going, Ray?
Yeah, this game should be fun, man. I've got the Raiders winning 27-20. I think they've got a little spark going now, and I really don't think the Steelers are quite as good as their win over the Bills indicated, or maybe didn't indicate because the Bills kind of imploded, like we talked about before. I think the Steelers easily could win this game. Wouldn't be surprised, but my intuition is telling me Raiders over Steelers 27-20 right now.
What do you got, Tia?
Oh man, Steelers versus Raiders, huh? I think that the Raiders defense isn't as good as we think it is just because of I think the offensive line for the Ravens is terrible. Um I think the Steelers are going to put up points here, to be honest with you. I think their defense is really good. I'm going to go 30-21 here. Steelers winning the game at home, probably covering the spread at 9 points. Yeah, I think 30-21 here is what I'll go with.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think it's gonna be particularly close. I got Steelers winning 27-17. The Raiders did win at home against the against the Ravens this week, but I just don't see them winning. They're playing one of the best defenses in the league. This year or on Monday, they still did not utilize Henry Ruggs like they should have. They're giving Brian Edwards all the targets, and it's pretty much the Darren Waller show in Las Vegas. Pretty much, if he's not open, they're just a dead team. I towards the end of the
Yeah, I
game
feel
when
like
everyone's gassed.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, I feel like the Raiders, when I was watching the first half of that game, I feel like Gruden was just force feeding Darren Waller. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't even open a lot of times, double covered. We're still throwing it to him. We don't care. So yeah, and I feel like if they just lock up Darren Waller, just double team him the whole game, I mean, I think the Steelers will be able to handle this game pretty easily.
Yeah, and I think what happened with that game was that the Ravens defense just got gassed because going into overtime, it's hard to play for that long. And so that they just couldn't cover these wide receivers
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And they got a lot of quick guys out there. Brian Edwards is quick, Zay Jones is quick. What's that white guy's name? Hunter Renfro's quick. But yeah, so I think that
That
the
white
Raiders
guy.
hey, there's not many of them in the NFL, man. Wide receivers at
Yeah.
least. But I just think they're going to keep up. So let's move on to the next game because but interesting, right? You got the Raiders. That's an interesting take. Let's move on to the Niners versus the Eagles. I'll start this one off. I think that it's going to be a closer game towards the end, but I think that the Niners will have a significant lead most of the game. I've got Niners 31-20. I don't see them being able to move the ball much in this 49ers defense. I think they're really talented, and I think that people are overestimating this Eagles offense after playing the Falcons. I just don't see it being a very close game. Maybe some garbage time points that makes it look closer. What do you think, THump?
Oh, I think this is a lot closer game than you're giving it credit for, man. Philly at home, first home game of the year, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, this one's tough. Oh gosh, because like I want to trust Shanahan as a head coach. Yeah. Yeah, I take San Francisco 20 see 27-24 in a close game. I think final second field goal 49ers win it.
Where do you see this going, Ray?
Yeah, that's an interesting take. I definitely could see the Eagles doing well. We'll see. I think the 49ers defense is a whole nother ball game as opposed to the Falcons defense. I've got 49ers winning this one 38-24 just because of the prowess of the 49ers offense. But hey, I could definitely see an upset happening this way for this game. And I personally will be avoiding betting on this game just because the Eagles could be doing really well in this game.
I
Oh
think
yeah, this game. I don't think you can bet on this game right now in week 2. Anything could happen in this game. I feel like.
if you're gonna bet on anything in this game, you bet on any George Kittle's stats, the over. Because let me tell
Yeah.
you, when he played them in 2020, George Kittle absolutely obliterated the Eagles. He had
Wow.
15 targets, 15 receptions, 183 yards, and a touchdown against them last year. And I'm relatively sure that George Kittle,
Yeah,
because he didn't have that great of a week one, I think he's going to come out week two. He's going to get force fed, and the Eagles are going to fall over.
and Brandon Ayuk is injured too, so he's going to
Yeah.
get even more target. Yeah, that might be a good play right there. Not financial advice. Please do not gamble. Okay?
Gambling is bad. All right, let's move on to the next game. We all got a 49ers dub. I don't think that's very surprising to most people. I think if anyone picks the team from Texas in this next game, you might be called out as being a psychopath. Texans Browns. Uh, where do you see this game going, Ray?
Yeah, let's just move on to the next.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick, I've got Browns winning this one 45-13.
I could see it for sure. I've got this game 34-17 Browns. I think they're gonna take a significant lead and take the foot off the gas, kind of save their starters. I don't think it's gonna get that high, but they definitely could run it up even with their second string players. What do you think, Tia?
I think it's probably a closer game. It's the NFL. 10-point win here. I think by the Browns. But I don't think you see a blowout here. I think they probably let off the pedal a little bit at the end. Late touchdown by the Texans. I think the Texans probably cover. What's the spread on this? Do we even know? Texans versus Browns spread. The spread is 12.5. Oh yeah, I think the Texans cover here. I could be wrong, but I think the
Yeah.
Texans keep it within 10 points. I think 31-21, 35-20, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for sure there's no doubt here the Browns. If the Browns lose this game, I'm deleting my Twitter, my Twitch. There's no way they lose this game, right? No
All right.
shot.
Yeah, let's go Texans,
So,
baby. Let's
see what
go.
happens.
Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. Broncos, Jags, another meat show. Where do you see this game going, THump?
Jesus. I mean, I'm so down on the Jaguars. They lose by 3 touchdowns here. Wait, no, the game's at Jacksonville. Yeah, they lose by 17 points here, I would say.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just so down on Jacksonville, man. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball on the Broncos defense, especially with a Fangio coach defense. You have a rookie quarterback, first game at home, looking to impress the fans. Maybe he, forces some things. Think you're going to see at least another couple turnovers here from Lawrence, 1 to 2 picks. Yeah, I think the Broncos are going to win this running away. I think 17 points is my call on this one.
What do you think, like 30-13?
Yeah, 30-13. I mean, the Broncos, I kind of like Teddy, but I feel like I'm biased because when I watched him with the Saints and I watched what Peyton could do with him, I feel like he's talented enough. I think they'll be able to put the Jaguars away, though, for sure. Yeah, we'll go 31-17, somewhere around there, I guess would be probably, if you want me to give you an exact number, yeah, we can go with that.
All right, what do you got, Ray?
I actually think the Jaguars will play better in this second week here. I do think the Broncos win. I think it'll be a little closer. I think it'll be 31-27. I think Trevor Lawrence will play better this game, though.
You think Trevor Lawrence is going to put up 27 points against a Vic Fangio defense?
Yeah, I
If
do.
that
I think it was
Ooh,
first. I think it was
interesting.
first game jitters. I think that's what all
Okay,
it was.
could be.
I mean, I could see it. Trevor Lawrence is an extreme talent. Even in his weak performance last week, he did put up some. He did have some really impressive passes
He had 3 touchdown passes.
that showed. He does have the talent. Oh, I think the thing is he's gonna be one of those QBs. I don't think he's gonna have a Jameis Winston year where he has 30 interceptions, but he might have 23 or 22 because he's gonna have to do a lot to win these games. He's gonna have to be risky. He's gonna have to throw
he's
these
throwing,
crazy.
yeah.
So I think that even though
100%.
his stats might not look too pretty at the end of the game, he has the talent and he's gonna be trying his hardest to win these games. I've got it as a close game, 2017 Broncos. Obviously the Broncos run away with it. I don't think they're that good of a team, so I could see it being a very close one. But let's move on. This next game, I'm gonna let you guys take the wheel on it. It's Saints Panthers.
God.
Let's let Ray lead it off with how you think this game is gonna turn out.
I need a good breakdown here from you, Ray. Let's hear this, man. I'm ready.
Listen, I mean, these are two teams that are both finding new identities. They've both got new quarterbacks for the first time in a while. Well, I guess the Panthers had Teddy last year, but man, I'm excited for this game, dude. I think this is going to be a close game. I think it'll be really interesting throughout, but I think it'll be more of a grinded out defensive battle than people think. I think the Panthers defense is a lot better than people think, and the Saints obviously have a really nice defense. These games are always tight. They're always interesting. It's in Charlotte, which will help my boys. And I'm ready, dude. I think it'll be good, dude. And I mean, you're probably gonna hate it right now. I got 27-17. Panthers win the game. Let me just say, I think
about this game. The spreads.
The spreads, I think 3 or 3.5. I think Panthers plus 3.5.
Saints -3. Yeah. Oh God, this game, man. This is.
Well, it's tough, right? Because I mean, the Saints
think.
just blew out one of the top teams supposedly in the league, right? So it's like no one really knows where to categorize them.
I feel like. Yeah.
And no one knows where to categorize the Panthers either because they just played the Jets. So it's like, well. I mean,
it's one of those weird things where. Yeah, the Saints, okay, we lost our starting center. I'm not sure for how long, but we drafted, our first round pick was a center. We just moved him to guard, so now he's playing center. So I don't think
Gotcha.
there's too much fall off there. Our right guard is like Thor Mockton or some guy. I don't know who the hell this guy is. Um, oh man, this game. Oh god, I feel like this is a very difficult game for me to call, and I feel like I'm so jaded on Sam Darnold from watching him with the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's different when you're in a new offense. What's his name? Brady, their offensive
Joe
coordinator.
Brady. Yeah.
Yeah, so when he was with the Saints and with LSU, I mean, the guy's
Yeah.
really intelligent. He's a really good offensive mind. And I don't the one thing that really really I don't like about this game for the Saints is that Marshawn Lattimore, I don't think he's going to play, even though it's
Wait,
just like
what?
yeah, he had thumb surgery.
Oh,
So
that's wow.
so the thing is you can put a cast on it, right? But if that thing gets hit, like apparently you have to wait for it to lock in place or
Ew.
something before you can play. I don't know if that's like something to do with like something they put in there or what. So I don't know if Marshawn Lattimore is even going to play. So if he doesn't play, then you're going to have Roby as your number one cornerback, I'm pretty sure, who hasn't even really played because we just got him from the Texans. And then you're going to have Paulson Adebo, who's a first round player, or he was our third round pick at cornerback 2. Everybody else is pretty much healthy. No, we lost our best defensive lineman too because he's always fucking hurt. Oh man, it's gonna be a tough game for the Saints. I think it's gonna be close. Ooh, what did you call? What did you say the score was gonna be,
I
Ray?
said in the end, 27-17 Panthers.
27-17. I don't think there's any way that the Panthers win by 10 points. I think this comes down. This is going to be very close game. Fourth quarter. Uh, Jesus, man. It's going to be a 3-point game. I don't know what the specific score is going to be. 23-20, somewhere around there. I think that team with the ball last probably wins this game. Hopefully Jameis doesn't make too many mistakes. Yeah, I think 23-20 close game. Saints win. I think Alvin Kamara probably has a big game. Well, yeah, I think Kamara had a big game last year against the Panthers, right?
Kamara always goes off against us, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like Kamara always has really good games, and I think it's one of those things where Kamara kind of has like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's some people consider him better than me, so let me show you type thing. I think
Oh yeah,
Kamara has.
they're both similar players for sure. So
I think he has a big game. I think Sean Payton's going to be able to pick on Horn, the first year cornerback. I think he'll have a lot of exotic looks for him to get him mixed up. I've heard this before. Aaron Rodgers, he knows Aaron Rodgers knows who your rookie cornerbacks are, and he will test you. And I think Sean Payton is going to do that a lot, and I think he's going to do it as well. Maybe I'm looking too much into this. He wanted him bad, by the way, in the draft. Payton wanted to trade up and draft him 100%. And I think there's a little bit that, it's Joe Horn's son too, as well there. I think Payton tries to go at him to just test to see if it would have been a good draft pick or not. And I think the Saints win this game. I think we'll be able to move the ball. I think 23-20 would be a good game. I think that'll be what the score is, but we'll see, man. I'm excited for it. To me, this is the game of the week, man. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be
it'll
close.
be fun, bro. I'm hyped.
All right, got that over with.
Sorry, I'm passionate, bro. I love the Saints, man. I can't.
I honestly, here's the thing. Week 1, if this game was week 1, I think that I would have been higher on the Panthers. But after week 1, I think the Panthers were unimpressive, and I think the Saints were extremely impressive. So, based off that, I have the Saints winning 28-23. They looked incredible, and I just think that if they can continue that level of play, they could be better than the Bucs for all we know.
I think that there's still some of that hurricane too. These people are going to be going into this game thinking, oh, a lot of these people in Louisiana are looking forward to us to get away from the hell that they're going through down here.
Yeah.
I think there's still going to be some of that. They're going to be playing for the people back at home. The Panthers were pretty uninspiring first week, but it is the first week playing against the Jets. They're probably not the most motivated team out there. They're going to be motivated for this game.
They better be, because that's the only way they're going to win.
It's always close. So it's going to be the Panthers' motivation for their first division game at home against the Saints motivation of the Hurricanes. So hey, I'm excited, man. I'm
Yeah,
excited to
we'll
see
see. Let's move into the next game. Try and run through these a little quicker. We
Yeah,
got
we're taking some time.
Yeah, we got Rams Colts. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna lead this one off. I think the Rams are gonna demolish the Colts. I don't see it being
Hmm.
close. I think Wentz is gonna get killed. Probably have 2 fumbles and get sacked 4 times. I got 31-13 Rams. Where do you see this game going, Tion?
I think this game ends up 35-17. I think it's a runaway for the Rams. I think the Rams are extremely talented, man. Oh God, they just have weapons everywhere. Two of the best defensive players in the league. Yeah, I think this is just a runaway for the Rams.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still high on the Colts overall, so I think they're gonna put up a fight. But I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna predict an upset. I think Rams get the job done 30-20.
I like it. We're all seeing eye to eye there. All right, let's move on to the next game. We got Bills Dolphins, the AFC East matchup. Where do you see this game going, Ray?
I mean, I think the Bills will definitely flex the muscle that they have. I think they're gonna. I think they were embarrassed about losing at home against the Steelers and the way that they played. So I think they're gonna come out with the fire. Yeah, I like the Bills a lot this week. I say they're gonna win 41-23 over the Dolphins.
What do you think, Tion?
Oh man, I think Dolphins win this game. I think it's a
Oh,
close one. I think it's going to be low scoring. Yeah, I wouldn't say low scoring. I'd say you're going to see mid 20s. I take the Dolphins in this one 27, 24-ish, somewhere around there. I think that the Dolphins defense is going to look at what the Steelers did against the Buffaloes. You're going to what the Steelers did against the Bills. I think you're going to have a blueprint there. I think Brian Flores is going to have a really good game plan. It's at home. Tua will be really comfortable after his first game. Yeah, I think the Dolphins win this game in a close one, 24-21, 27-24, 2017, somewhere up in there. And yeah, I think the Dolphins get a surprise victory here. Buffalo Bills fall to 0-2 in my opinion.
Um, I'm with Ray here. I think the Bills win this game. I don't, however, do not think it's going to be a 40 point scoring game. I've got it closer. I think that Josh Allen's going to struggle again because I think you're right about them figuring out the the
They figured him out, I
yeah,
think, a
figured
little
out
bit.
Josh Allen. And I think it's as simple as locking down Stephon Diggs because if they can take out Stephon Diggs from the formula, I mean, he doesn't have anyone to throw to. So you got Dawson Knox and Emmanuel Sanders, and then they have the ghost of a
Cole
run game.
Beasley.
Yeah,
Oh.
Cole Beasley, the best slot receiver in the league, right? Uh, so I'm calling it 23-14 Bills. I think it's gonna be close, like maybe like 17-14, and then the Bills will have a touchdown to secure the win at the very end. But yeah, I'm interested to see this game. It's gonna be a good matchup. Let's move on to another AFC East battle. We got the Patriots versus the Jets. This one I think it's gonna be closer. Weirdly enough, it's in New Jersey, and I think the Pats win 2013. What do you got, Tiam?
Oh, the Pats 20. Oh man. Oh, there's no way Bill Belichick goes 0-2, right? I just don't
Yeah,
see
no
that
way.
happening in this situation. Yeah, he's again. You have a rookie quarterback again going up against Bill Belichick. You saw how Tua did last week. He's a second-year quarterback. Traditionally, year one quarterbacks do not perform well against the Patriots at all. I don't think this. I think this is a two-touchdown game. I think you're looking at probably 24-10 here, maybe 27-10. Yeah, let's go 27-10, 17-point win by the Patriots here going away.
All right, what do you got, Ray?
yeah, I also think the Patriots are gonna absolutely dominate over the Jets. I don't know. I think Bill Belichick just eats rookie quarterbacks alive, man. I've got the Patriots over the Jets, 31-13.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that the Patriots are gonna win. Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
game,
I think
Bengals
comfortably.
Bears. I know THump said that he thinks the Bengals are gonna take the L this week against in the
Andy
revenge game against
Dalton
Andy Dalton.
revenge tour, baby.
I agree with you. I
Yep.
think it's gonna be close though. I think it's gonna be a 23-20 Bears victory. I would love to see Justin Fields in it because you got to think about it. Who did Justin Fields play in the Natty? Joe Burrow. Can you imagine if they got to run it back in the
Hmm.
NFL, man? I mean, they're going to eventually, but we're probably
Yeah,
going to be
he's
stuck.
not Justin Fields.
Yeah, we're probably going to be stuck watching Andy Dalton. But I still think they'll win with Andy. What do you think, Ray?
Hmm.
Yeah, so this will be an interesting game. I'm going the other way, guys. I've got the Bengals. I'm really high on that team this year. I think they're right off an impressive win, overtime victory against the Vikings, and I've got the Bengals taking it home, 35-24 over the
Wow.
Bears. Yeah, I'm not high on the Bears at all
I
this
think
year.
they're gonna take down the NFC North in back-to-back games.
I
Yeah,
absolutely do.
Ray loves his high scoring games, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
I could
do.
does.
def
Let
I,
me and
I
let
could
me just
definitely go
let's
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go
Uh,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure the Joe Burrow beat Trevor Lawrence. Did he not
Oh,
in the
was
finals?
oh was it the one before? Was it the
I'm,
in the
I
playoffs
think they
before
might have
that?
beat Ohio State in the semis, and then Trevor
Oh,
Oh
Lawrence
yeah,
beat
yeah,
yeah,
probably.
yeah, yeah.
Clemson in the
Close,
finals.
yeah,
But yeah,
close.
anyway, freaking yeah. No, I love the Bengals this year. I think they're gonna make the playoffs.
All right.
Really?
He had them
Absolutely.
as 13-3.
Wow.
No,
He
I
had them as
didn't.
13.
Oh,
No, I
you
did
did?
Oh,
Oh,
not.
wait, what'd you have them
No,
as?
no, no.
Sorry,
I
so
had
sorry,
them
so
like
sorry.
10 wins or something.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you said okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something
wow.
else.
Now that is a shocker right there. I
There
mean,
you go.
I could definitely see a world where the Bengals win this game. Obviously, I think it's gonna be close. I'm not high on the Bears. I'm pretty much calling this on emotion here. Andy going against his old team. Maybe the players are there. Hey, we know this means something to you. It's a first game at home. And it's going to be a packed Soldier Field. It's going to be a great environment, man. Yeah, I think the Bears win this game. Obviously, it's going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be pretty low scoring, 23-17 ish. But I do think the Bears win this game. I think there's too much on the line for Matt Nagy. He knows he has to have this. If he doesn't have this game, man, I mean, I don't know who they play week 3, but if they fall 0-3, Matt Nagy's out the door. I think it's a must win. I think they know it. He knows it. The whole coaching staff knows it. They're playing for their lives here. I think the Bears get it done.
All right, well, let's see, man. I'm excited for this one. All right, we got another game, which is an NFC South battle. We got the Bucks versus the Falcons. Where do you think this game's
All right,
going
let's
to,
go to
Jan?
the next game, boys.
Yeah, right.
Into the record books is one of the most lopsided wins of all time. Matt Ryan might end up in a hospital after this game. This is going to be an absolute national tragedy. I'm taking Buccaneers 45-13, absolute blowout win. I do not trust the Falcons at all. Plus, I hate that franchise. So yeah, I think the Bucks blow them out.
All right, what do you see going, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, I think interdivisional matchups are always a little bit closer than people sometimes think. I do think the Falcons can get some garbage time touchdowns, maybe get Kyle Pitts going a little bit, but overall, I have the Bucks winning 41-27.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, one thing.
Go ahead.
I think Kyle Pitts gets locked down this game
I mean, he did
by the
last
receiving
game, so
core
I
of
could
the
see
Buccaneers.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've got this game. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be probably one of the most underwhelming games of the slate. I got it 35-10 Bucks. Let's just move right on because I don't think it's gonna be a very close one. We got Vikings Cardinals. These are two high-powered offenses. I think that Kirk Cousins and this Vikings offense is gonna be able to keep up with the Cardinals offense. I think that it's going to be 35-27 Cardinals. I mean, Kyler's going to put up huge numbers. I think Kirk Cousins will do well too. He historically has not done that great against good defenses or good teams rather than defenses, but I guess we'll have to see. Where do you think this game's going, Ray?
Yeah, I think the Vikings, just because they have a high-powered offense, will be in a lot of games this year. But man, Kirk Cousins' record against winning teams is sad. It's like I don't want to like throw a number out, but I want to say it's like 7-35 or something. I think the Cardinals, man, they're showing they got something this year, and they could be that one team that really, really just surprises people, man. I've got the Cardinals winning this one 37-27.
Cool, cool, cool. What about you, Tia?
I think Chandler Jones goes for 3 or 4 more sacks this week.
Oh my
Minimum
God.
2. The Vikings offensive line is absolutely terrible. It's the only offensive line I think that I can think of. Obviously, I don't know every team, but I feel like they just haven't gotten better at offensive line in the past 2 years. I think Kirk Cousins is going to get absolutely ran through. I think it'll be a pretty high scoring game. I think you're looking at 23-34, somewhere around there. But yeah, I take the Cardinals. And the Cardinals starting off 2-0, huh? Yeah, I'm just not high on the Vikings at all whatsoever. I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Cardinals. I don't think they're going to be able to stop their rush. Chandler Jones, 3 to 5 sacks again. Looking at Defensive Player of the Year, I think he has a huge day.
Jeez. Man, if he goes into week 2 with or week 3 with 9 sacks, I think.
Like, could he not easily get
I mean,
3 to 4 sacks this week against the Vikings? An immobile
possibly.
quarterback with a bad offensive line? Like,
The thing,
it's doable.
the thing about Kirk is that he's not someone who typically takes a lot of sacks. He gets the ball
Oh
up
yeah,
pretty quick.
he hates getting hit. You can just tell, like, he does
So
not like it.
yeah, so I don't. I mean, I definitely see him getting a sack, maybe 2. But I don't think he's gonna get hit like Tannehill did. I also think that Tannehill, first game jitters. I don't know. He just seemed kind of out of it last week. He didn't play that great. But yeah, let's move on. I think we've all got the Cards winning by almost 10 points, a little less. Let's move on to the Titans Seahawks. How do you see this game playing out, Ray?
I could definitely see the Titans winning. Right now, I've got Seahawks winning 31-20 because I'm not sure what's going on with the Titans. We don't see what's up with that because they couldn't win at home versus a traveling Cardinals team.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I need to see a little more from them before I start putting them in high regard.
Where do you got this game going, TM?
Yeah, I think this is a Seahawks win, playing at home, first home game of the year. And I feel like this is really big. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but a lot of these fans can't come to games last year, right? The energy that these players are like feeling in your first home game, oh man, it's got to be insane. Like you got to be running around with just like 150% energy. I think the Seahawks win this. Again, don't trust the Titans. Couldn't win at home against a traveling Cardinals team week 1. I see the Seahawks winning this one by 1 touchdown at least. What's the spread on this game? Do we know?
I think it's 5.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a common theme. Yeah, I feel like this is a common theme with the Seahawks is that they start off every season. It seems like really, really fast. Like they go 4-0, 5-0, right? And then they're kind of figured out and they struggle down the line and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a 5.5 spread, 5.5. I think the Seahawks go 2-0 here. I think they cover the spread as well, winning by a touchdown or more at home.
So last week I had one controversial take with the Raiders winning, and this week that's gonna be my take. I think the Titans win this game. I think that
at Seattle.
I think that they're gonna have fire under their ass, and man. Here's the thing, it's supposed to rain all weekend.
Oh, is it?
It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain Saturday, Sunday, all day. Derrick Henry comes out. It's wet. I think he goes for 150, and I think the Titans win. I think Russell Wilson will look great, but his defense is gonna slack while it's wet out there. It's slippery, and I think that the Titans take this game. I just have that feeling, that they're gonna win this one. I'm really high on the Seahawks, especially early season. In my power rankings last week, I had them, I think 7 or 8. I think it was 7, and I think the Titans win this game. Weirdly enough, but yeah, let's move on to the next game. My Cowboys versus the Chargers.
This is an interesting one now.
Listen, these are 2 of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL. It's the highest over-under on the slate. And I think that the Cowboys are playing a way worse team than they did last week, and I think they're going to win. I think it'll be close still. I got my Cowboys 31-28. I don't see the Chargers defense stopping the Cowboys offense. But I do see the Chargers scoring just as much. But I think that Dak's just going to outperform Justin Herbert, and we're going to get a really good performance out of both teams. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this one. I think this is the game of the week. These are 2 teams I absolutely love. I think they're really, really fun to watch. Got to go with my boys, though. My Super Bowl pick, which TM may or not know about, but I have them making the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, bro, this guy is
no.
I've got the Chargers winning 37-34.
Oh.
He goes, you picked the...
That's actually jokes. That's funny. I should have specified.
Man.
But yeah, I've got Chargers winning 37-34 in one of the best games of the year.
Oh, dude, this is going to be a good one, man. Oh, I'm excited for this one. Wow, man, just thinking about these games, dude. Oh, only like 4 days left.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Kalen, I love you, brother. I think Mike McCarthy's going to be sitting on a hot seat after this one. I think the Cowboys defense is not as good as we think it is. They get 4 turnovers handed to them. They still can't win the game with 4 turnovers. How do you get 4 turnovers, a +3 differential, and you still can't win the game? Yeah, I just don't trust the Cowboys coaching staff. I don't trust their defense. I think Chargers first year quarterback at home. There's going to be a lot of energy, or sorry, first year coach. Man, there's just so much in the air. It's first year coach playing against the Cowboys, first game at home. Chargers in a close one. I think Dak keeps it close. This is so awful to say. Chargers by 3, last second field goal to win the game. And the Chargers last year were literally the worst team in the fourth quarter. I can't believe I'm saying they're going to win in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I take the Chargers by a field goal here. High scoring game, 33-30, somewhere around there. I think the Chargers win. Mike McCarthy goes on the hot seat, 0-2 for the Cowboys.
Let me tell you guys right now, if I have to watch my team lose in the final seconds of a game by a field goal 2 weeks in a row, I will lose my mind, dude. But I think we win.
Dude, this is gonna be. I think this and the Saints Packers game or Panthers game. Oh man, those are gonna be 2 really close contested games. I'm looking forward to those.
Dude, the late slate of football is so good, man. We like I can't even believe we have all these games to watch. It's so good.
Yeah, one thing I hate about the NFL, they should start playing one game at like 7 o'clock in the morning and then start the second game at like 9 so I can watch all these games. Because you'll have like 3 good games at like 12 o'clock and you can't watch them all unless you watch Red Zone. I hate that about the NFL. It frustrates me.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Red Zone channel, but like, man, think about the games we have at the 3 o'clock slate. We've got the Cardinals versus Minnesota, 2 high-powered offenses going at it. It's going to be an amazing game. We got Dallas, the Chargers.
I'll avoid that game.
And oh wait, you're gonna avoid the Vikings game?
I'm not watching Vikings Cardinals. I'll watch Cowboys Chargers and Titans Seahawks.
Yeah, but still, that's 3. Those are 6 teams with top offenses that you want to watch, and like it's gonna be so exciting. And it's like, I wish I could just watch all of them, man. But yeah, let's move on to the Sunday night football. Wait, did we get? Oh yeah, we did. Okay, Sunday night football game. Chiefs versus Ravens. I think this will be a fantastic game. It is always fun when Mahomes waltzes into Baltimore and gets to twerk on that team. It's always entertaining. Where do you think this game is going, Ray?
Yeah, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't be calling a handily Chiefs victory here. I've got 45-27 Chiefs win.
Oh my gosh.
I think this Ravens team is not as good as Ravens teams in the past, especially with all the unfortunate running back injuries they've been having. So unless Lamar can like do something incredible, I don't see the Chiefs having any problem rolling over the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think that it'll be Chiefs W by 10 points. I think 31-21 is more of a understandable or realistic outcome. Weirdly enough, the Chiefs also do this thing where they take their foot off the pedal, halfway through the game. Like they'll get a substantial lead and they'll just start running the ball out. So I don't think it'll be as big of a difference as you said. I also don't think that there's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be a 40-score game. This one won't be. I think the Ravens are not nearly as good as the Chiefs, but not that much worse. Where do you see this game going, THump?
Yeah, I think I was pretty close with you on this. I think it's 31-20. I think the Chiefs have way too much for the Ravens. I think Chandler Jones is going to have a huge game. Didn't they switch Chandler Jones out to defensive end now? Isn't he playing D end for the Chiefs instead of playing interior? I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
I think Chandler Jones I think so. I think they moved Chandler Jones outside. I'm not 100% certain about that.
Right, Chris Jones.
Or sorry, not Chandler. Chris. Sorry, Chris Jones. Did they move Chris Jones outside, or is he still playing inside?
Chris Jones is.
I thought he was interior, but I don't know.
I think he's inside.
You're saying because of the Frank Clark thing?
Yeah, he did move. He moved to.
He moved. Why because of Frank Clark?
Chris Jones is now. Let me see. Yeah, he's playing defensive end now. Listen, you put Chris Jones up against Baltimore, up against Villanueva for the Ravens. Good night. Okay, it is over. I think he has a really big game. Chris Jones goes off. I think he gets 2 sacks, couple pressures. I think it's 31-20. I think the Chiefs win, and I don't think it's that close of a game. Very uninspired Ravens team. Not big on them at all. They fall to 0-2, and there's going to be a lot of question marks coming out of Baltimore.
All right. Well, we're all seeing eye to eye there with the Chiefs dub. I do not want to see Baltimore win, so let's hope that they do end up losing this one. Let's move on to the Monday Night Football game. We got Lions Packers. Where do you see this game going, THump?
Oh yeah, can't wait for this one. Probably not even. I mean, I'll probably watch the first half of this game, and by then it'll be over. The Lions are about to get absolutely ran through. Packers are going to take out their, their emotions on the first game. They're going to take it out on the Lions here. Absolute blowout. I don't see the Lions scoring more than 20 points here. I see Aaron Rodgers having an insane game, 5 touchdowns. We'll go 42-17. Packers win in a blowout.
What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I think both these teams are trying to find their identity, which is weird for this season. Weird to say about the Packers. I'm not sure what's going on with Aaron Rodgers right now, but maybe they can get that sorted out. I don't think that'll be like, and I know I'm the one saying this because freaking I had most of these games high scoring, but I've got 28-17 Packers win somewhat comfortably, although it might be close around halftime.
You know, I think that after this performance in Jacksonville by Aaron Rodgers, I think that if he doesn't come out on Monday night and absolutely demolish the Lions, that like anything short of like TM said, like 5 touchdowns is like embarrassing for him. Like this is the worst defense in the NFL. This is one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst. And I think that I mean I had down exactly what TM said, 42-17. I don't see this being a close game. I think if the Packers do not absolutely obliterate the Lions, that it is a failure on their end. So it looks like we all see eye to eye on that. Lions are not really saying a chance. I doubt we'll go through one of these podcasts with a Lions W coming up anytime
Yeah, I don't think
soon.
we're ever going to predict the Lions to win. They'll probably squeak out one somewhere, but yeah, that franchise, oof.
Yeah. Well, I just want to give a special thank you to T-Hump for coming on today. We appreciate it very much. You did great today. Thank you so much for coming on. And that's going to wrap it up for us. That's all we've got for the week. This was a much longer podcast. But thank you to anyone who's still listening all the way to the end. I'm super excited for this next week. It should be a very entertaining week too. Make sure to follow all of our social medias. It's at Huddle Break on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And thank you for taking a break from the huddle with us.